Okay, ladies, it's time for card number 2. What I'm going to do is show you how to use this Stamp-a-ma-jig. Now, yours will be black. I got mine before we had our pretty little Stampin' Up! Logo. So, when you open your package, you're going to get a clear imaging sheet and your Stamp-a-ma-jig. To get this set up, I'm going to ink up this scroll image in the basic gray just because I can see it better instead of doing it in that almost amethyst. I'm going to butt this imaging sheet right up into the corner. I like to do mine at the bottom, but you could also work from the top. So if you do it like this, you would just butt it up to the top and then do it from the top right there. But you can see that that scroll image is on there. So I'm going to clean this off real quick. And I should have had this ready. Sorry. Clean this off real quick so that I can ink it up in the almost amethyst, which is the first direction on your instruction sheet for card number 2. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up in the almost amethyst. I'm going to open up my card here. And from the picture, it's a little hard to tell, but I want this scroll image up at the top here and down at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is layer this imaging sheet right on top and just kind of eye where I want that image to go. I'm going to turn my Stamp-a-ma-jig because I did it from the bottom. If you do it from the top, you would do opposite. But we'll just move that imaging sheet out of the way and leave your Stamp-a-ma-jig in place along with your cardstock, and then just stamp that image down. You can kind of see there, and then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm going to turn this over and ink that up and turn this around, and because it's upside down, I'm doing it opposite. So I just need to butt that up next to there. Move that. Turn my stamp upside down because I want that straight line to be up at the top. And then just press down firmly and you'll get those two images straight. You could eye it, but this is a tool that'll help you position your images exactly where you want them on the paper. So it's a cool one to have. So the next step is to tear the bottom of your So Saffron. When you're tearing, always tear towards you. It makes that pretty little feathered look there. And we're going to mount this directly on the basic gray. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is stamp the vine image, this one right here, in Certainly Celery, and just kind of, and you don't have to re-ink each time, just because you'll have a different color variation that way if you just kind of move it and stamp it like that. I'm going to get one more in there, just like that. Okay. And then what I've done is I've already on your two pieces like this, you're going to stamp the almost amethyst flower, and you're also going to stamp the So Saffron smaller flower, and these are going to be cut out. And with the magic of television, I had already done that. So set those aside, but you're going to need to stamp the other. I'll do a flower right here. It's okay if you go off the side of your paper, of your cardstock. I'm going to stamp some little flowers here and there. Just a little haphazard pattern. You're going to take your paper piercing tool and this foam piece of your matte pack, and this is a thing that you use to protect your table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tear the bottom of this as well. Again, tear it towards you. And we'll mount that onto the yellow. And whenever I use brads and the paper piercing tool, I kind of like to mount it through all layers of the cardstock just because you can get it flatter on the back. If you just have one layer of cardstock, that brad tends to kind of lift up and kind of bubble your paper. So I'm going to stick this flower over to the right here and just poke a hole right in the center there. I'm going to take my smaller brad here, and you can choose whatever color you want, whatever size. Those rhinestone brads come in 3 sizes, and then the purple tone and the green match perfectly with this project. Let's see, we'll do another little yellow one right up here and stick that through and open it up in the back. And there you have that part. And actually I'm going to tear this just a little bit more because I want to be able to fit my greeting or my sentiment underneath that. And that's life happens, love helps. And then just position it where it looks the best. Then I'm going to take my Certainly Celery satin ribbon and just layer that to the side and anchor it on the back there. And you have a spool of the taffeta basic gray, so you can just wrap that around and tie a pretty knot. I always do left over right, and that way you get that pretty little bow knot. Pull one end and you end up with that pretty little knot there. And then take some paper snips and trim your edge. There. Okay. And then you do right there. And then all you need to do is mat this piece. Just add as much tape as you want. It's a secured adhesive, so if you'd like to conserve, you can. And then you just mount that in between those pretty little scrolls that you did. And there's card number 2. Hope you had fun.